Hi, this is a really quick video for the end of week 5, and it's about space in narrative. And I just want you to think for about a minute about the idea of a place or a space in a story. We usually think about it as setting. So setting serves to be part of the world that the story is creating, or that the narrative is creating, but it often functions in other ways. For example, setting can be related to tensions in the novel. Setting can be related to the characters by giving us background information or context for the characters. Setting can be used metaphorically or thematically, but I don't want to talk about space in the same way. I want you to think of space just briefly as an element similar to time, as an element that can somehow structure narrative. So, for example, we often have a character growing up in a novel, in a Bildungsroman, for example, going from childhood to adulthood. But we also have novels and stories that are focused around a journey. So it's not just a movement through time, and I think this is one of the reasons why a journey novel is important, is because it is a structured movement through time, but it is movement through space as well. And that in an episodic novel, so a novel where we have an episode, followed by another episode, followed by another episode, these episodes aren't necessarily connected by time. We know that one comes after another, but we often won't see causality between the episodes. The episodes seem completely disconnected from each other, and we also don't know exactly what the time frame is between those episodes. So I would argue that movement through space is even more important than movement through time. I'm working on my own paper these days to look at the cross between space as an organizing feature in narrative and our cognitive abilities to deal with space, and the ways in which our relationship to space structures our relationship to memory. So I would argue to some extent that our familiarity with space in the real world and our connections between memory and space in the real world function in a similar way in a narrative when we are introduced to spaces. So as something different in this week where we're talking about building a world, we think as well of building space. Thanks.